Most gardeners spend $50 to $200 a year on fertilizer, compost, and soil amendments. Bags of this, bottles of that, a new product every season because the last one did not do what the label promised. And the frustrating part is that most of that spending is unnecessary. Not because your garden does not need nutrients. It does, but because there is a system that produces everything your garden needs for free, using materials you are already throwing away or ignoring. Kitchen scraps, yard waste, weeds, leaves, grass clippings, coffee grounds, eggshells. All of it has nutrient value. And when these materials are processed correctly, not just dumped in a pile and forgotten, they become a complete fertility system that replaces almost every bag and bottle most gardeners buy. I spent over $150 on amendments during my first 2 seasons. Bagged compost, bone meal, blood meal, fish emulsion, liquid seaweed, granular fertilizer. The garden grew fine. Not great. Fine. By the 3rd season, I stopped buying almost all of it and switched to a system that produced fertility directly on site from free inputs. My yields increased, my soil improved, and my fertilizer costs dropped to 0. In this video, I'm going to show you the 4-part free fertilizer system that replaced everything I used to buy, how to set it up, and why it actually outperforms purchased products over time. Stay to the end because the 4th part is the one most gardeners have never heard of, and it's the most powerful soil builder in the entire system. Part 1 is hot composting done correctly. Most gardeners have a compost pile. Most compost piles don't work very well because they're built wrong. A loose pile of scraps and leaves left alone can take 6 months to a year to break down. It sits there cold, attracts pests, smells bad, and eventually turns into mediocre compost. Hot composting changes the timeline from months to weeks. The key is the balance between carbon and nitrogen, plus enough volume to generate heat. Browns like dry leaves, cardboard, straw, and wood shavings provide carbon. Greens like grass clippings, kitchen scraps, weeds, and coffee grounds provide nitrogen. Combined at roughly a 30-to-1 ratio and built into a pile at least 3 feet wide, 3 feet deep, and 3 feet tall, the pile begins heating internally within days. A properly built hot pile reaches temperatures between 130 and 160 degrees, hot enough to kill weed seeds and accelerate decomposition dramatically. Turn it every few days to keep oxygen moving through the center. In 3 to 4 weeks, you end up with dark, crumbly compost that feeds soil biology, improves structure, holds moisture, and provides slow-release nutrients across the entire growing season. I built my first hot compost bin from 4 discarded pallets and a handful of screws. Total cost, 0. That bin has produced enough compost for my garden for 2 full seasons without buying a single bag. Part 2 is weed tea fertilizer, one of the most overlooked free inputs in gardening. Every weed you pull from your yard contains nutrients it extracted from your soil. When you throw those weeds away, you are literally exporting fertility off your property. When you turn them into liquid fertilizer, you recycle those nutrients back into the garden in a form plants can absorb immediately. The process is simple. Fill a bucket about 1/3 full with fresh weeds. Dandelions, clover, lamb's quarters, chickweed, anything vigorous and green. Fill the rest with water, cover loosely, and let it steep for 10 to 14 days. Stir occasionally. As the weeds decompose, they release nitrogen, potassium, and trace minerals into the water. Strain the liquid, dilute it about 1 to 10 with water, and apply it around your plants as a liquid feed. The leftover solids go right back into the compost pile. It costs nothing, takes only a few minutes to set up, and creates a continuous source of free fertilizer from material most people throw away. Comfrey is especially powerful for this because its deep roots pull potassium and minerals from lower soil layers and concentrate them in the leaves. I planted 3 comfrey plants along my fence line specifically for fertilizer production. They regrow aggressively after each cutting and provide several harvests of nutrient-rich leaves every season. Part 3 is chop and drop mulching, and this is where the system starts becoming incredibly efficient. Instead of hauling plant material away after pruning or harvesting, you simply chop it and leave it directly on the soil surface. Tomato suckers, bean vines, herb trimmings, spent lettuce leaves, healthy plant material stays in the bed instead of leaving the system. As it decomposes, it feeds worms and microorganisms exactly where they are already active. It also acts as mulch, reducing evaporation, suppressing weeds, and protecting soil temperature while slowly releasing nutrients back into the root zone. This is composting in place. No hauling, no turning, no extra work. Over time, beds managed with regular chop and drop applications develop darker, softer, more biologically active topsoil because the system is being fed continuously instead of once or twice a year. The only exception is diseased material. Anything showing fungal spots, bacterial infection, or viral symptoms should be removed completely. Healthy material stays, diseased material goes. That single rule keeps the system safe while allowing fertility to cycle directly where it's needed most. Part 4, the one that ties the entire system together, is cover cropping specifically for fertility. Most gardeners think of cover crops as weed suppression or winter protection, but used correctly, they are one of the closest things to free fertilizer that exists. After your final harvest in fall, instead of leaving the bed bare, sow crimson clover, field peas, or another legume across the entire surface. These plants pull nitrogen from the atmosphere and store it in nodules along their roots. They grow through fall and winter, protecting the soil while actively building fertility. Then, a few weeks before spring planting, cut them at the soil line and leave the biomass on the surface. Do not pull the roots. The roots decompose underground, improving soil structure and leaving nitrogen exactly where future crops need it. The tops break down above ground, feeding soil biology and adding organic matter. That is a complete fertility application from a few dollars worth of seed. No bags, no bottles, no store. I started cover cropping every empty bed 2 seasons ago, and the difference became obvious by the second year. Darker leaves, faster growth, better moisture retention, stronger plants. The soil itself had changed, and when you combine all 4 parts, hot composting for bulk fertility, weed tea for liquid feeding, chop and drop for continuous nutrient cycling, and cover crops for off-season nitrogen and biomass, you end up with a complete fertilizer system that costs almost nothing to maintain. The inputs are scraps, weeds, leaves, plant waste, and a few inexpensive seeds. But unlike synthetic fertilizers, which feed the plant temporarily while bypassing soil biology, this system feeds the living ecosystem in the soil that supports the plant long term. That means the system compounds. Every season the soil improves instead of degrading. Water retention increases. Microbial activity expands. Plants become more resilient. And eventually the garden reaches a point where the soil itself is doing most of the work. That's the shift. You stop trying to force growth from outside the system and start building a system that generates fertility on its own. And once that happens, the garden becomes dramatically cheaper, more productive, and far more sustainable than anything that depends on constant purchased inputs. If you want to see how this fertility system fits into the complete garden system that manages water, pests, rotation, and production together, watch the garden system video next.